Welcome, everyone.
Session 4, I believe.
Is it session 4?
Yeah.
Well, so far, we are... In our let's attempt, we are managing very well, I think.
Yes.
We are managing to play through this hard game.
It's really not that bad. It's really not. Well,
I
mean, we haven't gotten to the bad parts.
No.
But, hello. You are a really jerk. Big jerk if I don't have the down thrust.
Yes. So...
Down thrust, best thing in this game, in my opinion. Except these guys doesn't work, and now I'm gonna get hit.
Wow.
Oh, P-bag. 200? Yeah.
It's a points bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has a P on it.
Right.
I'm not insinuating anything.
Neither am I. A dumb guy. So you were saying, like, off screen, off camera.
Oh. Okay.
You were saying that,
okay.
You know, no one wants to see, like, a really long recording. Like, usually we record, like, 20 minutes or something like that.
Well, yeah.
Right?
I was saying, because I call these sessions,
right.
Technically our session is 2.5 hours.
Right.
Ish.
Right, yeah,
of whatever we play.
All recording it, like, in one night.
Yeah.
But we break it up because, well, it's just long otherwise.
Yeah. You never know. If we ever stream in the future, then there'll be long stuff.
Yeah, if we, like, live stream.
Yeah. Which is something I want to look into for the future.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, but it reminded me, like, you saying that reminded me, we were talking about just the games we want to play, and, like, Final Fantasy came up a lot, obviously, because from me. Did you see, like the lists of, like, it's like a newish kind of fad where it's like, you string all the cutscenes of a game together,
yes.
and you just push on YouTube?
Yes.
So it's like, blank game, the movie?
Yeah. Oh, no!
Okay.
That's not what I wanted to do.
No, it's not.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Oh.
Really thought that was going to be harder than it was.
Weird.
How am I...
Just...
Eh.
Oh, nice!
You can barely do it. Oh, thank you.
So... 13... Final Fantasy 13's movie is 8.5 hours.
That's long. That's like a Metal Gear length. Oh, no! Yeah. Get away! Thank you.
That's like... So, I was like, flabbergasted at that, because that's like Lord of the Rings trilogy length, almost, right?
Yeah.
And it kills me because, like, that game makes no sense. It's like...
Isn't Metal Gear 4 something like 8.5 hours?
It's up there, it's like 9 hours.
Man, it's crazy.
It
really puts into perspective the amount of work that goes into the games.
It
like,
does.
You don't really think about the cutscenes being that much work, because they are not as long as a gameplay usually, but
well, because they're broken up in such a way that you don't notice that you've been watching 9 hours of cutscenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it just blew me away because, like, Toriyama, the guy who directs 13, he was saying, like, oh, the reason why we made things super linear, like, in the gameplay linear and everything's linear and streamlined, is because it's really hard to tell a story when the players have freedom.
Yeah, I hear that that's an issue that a lot of guys go through.
Yeah, except that the game is still told, the story is still told so poorly.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that.
Exactly.
If it's linear, then
the one thing that he was saying, like, yeah, we're focused on story, they failed spectacularly. And the thing is, before anyone says anything, you know, I've been researching the story, and it's like, the story actually isn't that bad.
It's just the way they went about it.
Told so confusingly.
You sir are a boss.
Yes, these are bad. I have no counter for these guys, because
you just gotta go.
Usually I just jump and hit them in the head because there's a hitbox on the top of their head. And you can, but that's it. Yeah.
I just have to.
You should not be able to go face through that with those doors.
Yeah, I know. I don't even. And I don't have a key. Oh, I do have a key. Never mind.
Oh well. Good.
It's the raft, which is something we absolutely have to get because, well, first of all, it's the item of the dungeon or palace.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Good job.
Yeah.
Life.
It's 700, and I don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
So. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's the boss of this palace, isn't he? Him on a horse?
Him on a horse, basically. Yeah.
Gosh.
It's like there's not even any intro. to him. Like there's very little finesse in the NES games. You know what I mean? Like there's very little like. If there's a sub boss in modern games, there's like a room for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, like, and it's usually a room you have to do something to activate the fight. Like in Twilight Princess, for instance, there's that in the Zora temple, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Right.
There's the frog.
Right.
And you have to look up, right? It's kind of like Goma.
Goma, right.
Goma in Ocarina of Time. That's another thing. Goma was a one-shot kill in the original Legend of Zelda. One hit with the bow to the eye.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Probably because it's so forgettable. One hit and then.
Well, it became literally a common enemy. Like
right.
in Temple.
That's right. That's right.
Level 8 or level 9, whichever
that's
the
right.
last one was. The red ones are not even bad anymore. They're like 3 hits.
Yeah. You've beaten this game. You told me, right?
Yeah.
So it gets worse. You said.
You haven't seen anything yet. Well, no, you've seen a lot of stuff.
I've seen some things, man.
You've seen some things. Well, I mean, last week was the last time we recorded this.
Yes.
Last week was also a time where we had about, 4 hours where we just played this beforehand and just kind of hung out?
Yeah.
And we got to, Palace?
5, 6?
5 or 6, right? So you've seen quite a bit of this game so far.
Yeah.
Stop it!
Next time we should try and play blind maybe and see how well we do.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's like I was struggling to not exactly what I'm doing right now. Struggling to not get hit because it's been like a week since I've played, and I don't have the up thrust, so I don't even know what I'm doing. Trying to break up there. Just go through it this way.
What a tedious thing.
There we go. That's it.
But what was I saying? Right. So it's like amazing because like Toriyama and what's his name? Kitase, I think his name is, who's the producer. They're both like, yeah, storytelling. Like Final Fantasy is all about storytelling, and I'm like, well, I mean, it's important, but it's not. But it's all about to me at least.
Yeah. And
then it's just like amazing because that's the one thing he said that he was like, good at, and he totally failed. It's like the worst story, and because the thing is like the story isn't that bad, but here's the problem: to actually understand what's going on, you have to read like the data logs and like the codexes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't like
read those
when games do that.
It's bad storytelling.
I think. Now I don't want to say I don't like that because there is a game that does that, and I absolutely adore it. Mm-hmm. In Dark Souls,
right?
They do that,
right?
But that's different when it's not. The whole game isn't based around the story. The whole point is you're supposed to figure it out by yourself.
Right. I think also though Dark Souls though is that you can glean enough I think about what's going on.
Yeah. For it to not be crazy. That's like
the codex.
All the
save state.
Yes, good call. All the story, all the lore of Dark Souls has literally been from item description.
That's good. It's good. I mean,
and it's all during the loading screens, right?
Right.
Like literally, watch a speedrun of the people that like know that game like left, right, and center, and they're like, yeah, it's all the lore. Technically, the one you think is the bad guy ending is the good ending.
Really?
But it's the morally wrong ending.
The bad guy ending.
Yeah, because the future that it brings ends up being the good ending.
It's a spoiler, I guess, but.
Well, okay, then it's came out like 2010.
Okay, I don't know.
And the second one's about to come out.
Right.
And yeah, it's really vague.
By the time this is comes out, it might.
By the time this series is a thing, it'll be out.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah. So how's Dark Souls 2 going?
It looks good. It looks really good. I haven't played it yet, obviously.
Well, sure you have. According to the date that it is.
Okay. Yes. It's different than the first game.
Oh, is it?
But it's not that different. but it's different.
Oh, that's good.
Because I've totally spent hours and hours with the game.
Come on. This is the worst. Stop going off
Going
screen.
off screen, I can't hit you!
It's so dumb.
Oh,
nice.
Oh! Did not know that. Hey, first try on the boss. Boom.
Nice.
Oh, wrong way.
You got a lot of... Yeah, just get the key. Get the thing.
Yeah, I'm not grinding.
Yeah.
1,000. It's 300.
Whatever it is.
Ish.
Yeah.
1,239. 29.
The gaps are getting larger between each level, so I'm gonna just take magic.
Should I?
Yeah, there's like 700 different, 800 difference there.
But attack is really important. So is magic.
You can stay alive, but magic is really important too.
I think we should go with attack first.
Okay. If you think we can get 800 points before that.
Well, we haven't died yet, and we got an extra guy.
Okay. Go for it.
And that's another thing. By the way, we screwed up and forgot to record. We got the medicine, which then got us the down thrust.
No,
in the town. Very, very right.
Getting confused.
Yep.
What was he saying? What were we talking about?
Dark Souls 2 and how different yet similar it is.
Yeah, and how much you love it.
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing. I mean, there was this thing that happened with Dark Souls 2 before it came out. It was an interview and I watched it. Or not an interview, it was a preview and I watched it by Outside Xbox. The guy that plays Darth Maul is in it. As a voice actor.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
And,
the pose.
Or I think he's the guy that voice acts Darth Maul in one of the animated series. I think he's one of
sweet.
It's a really cool voice, actually. And I listened to some of his recordings. Stupid pose, man. Stupid pose, man. Stupid pose, man.
Oh, nice. Very good.
He has, you know how everyone in Dark Souls, at least your vague, or your very short exposure to Dark Souls, you notice how all the NPCs laughed after everything they said?
Yeah.
And it sounded really sinister?
Yeah.
That's because in the first Dark Souls, I guess this is a spoiler, but it's not really. In the first Dark Souls, you don't find out unless you do some digging. In the first Dark Souls, literally every NPC is out to kill you, except for one. And every single one lies to you, except for one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, neither did I.
Why would I assume that?
Recently. Exactly. That's the whole point. You know that guy at the very beginning that says, like, yo, you have to ring the 2 bells? He lies to you.
What?
Yeah.
What a jerk.
He just lies to you just because. He wants you dead. They all want you dead. Because they're all undead, and they all want your destiny.
Well, that's dumb.
Anyway.
What are you doing?
I had to go to the right. Stupid things. Teabag. Oh, look how close we are. But yeah, he is an NPC in the game that apparently helps you right away.
Right.
And he's not trying to kill you. At least, that was what the preview said. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, just kidding.
Just kidding, yeah. Right.
With boots, I could walk on the water.
Right.
Hint, hint, get boots.
So, yeah. We were talking about storytelling. And I was just saying, like, you know, the story told in 13 is so disjointed that the only way to understand what's going on is to read those data logs, right? And to me, that's a failure in storytelling. Like, it's basic, like, objectively speaking, it's a failure in storytelling because if you need to read the data logs and the codexes to understand the basic plot, the basic motivation as to why your characters are doing what they're doing, why the villain is doing what they're doing. Like, even Dark Souls had that the priest role of, like...
Yeah, to let you know about Nito and Seek the Scaleless and the queens of something.
Yeah, and all that stuff, right? In 13, you're, like, just thrown in.
Yeah,
and the characters all know...
Queens of Destruction. Continue.
Yeah, the characters all know terms and places, and it's like, you have no context for any of them, because you don't know what they are, or where they are in relation to each other. You know? It's like... The central problem being, of course, that the main villain of Final Fantasy 13, in order for his plan to succeed, he needs to die.
Okay.
So... The whole crux of his plan is that, like, just have the good guys kill you. That's part of his plan. So it's like, and I'm oversimplifying it for those of you who know the story, But basically, that's what it comes down to. Is like he wants to talk to, you know, the maker, which is like the deity that created everything. But in order for him to do that, he needs to die and like ascend to like a greater more powerful beinghood.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when you go to fight him, he fights back, and it's like, what?
Why are you fighting back?
Fight back, just let me kill you, right?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like it for you to have to die for your plan to work.
Exactly.
It's really odd that would be your plan.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing happens in 13 too as well. The same exact plot where like the guy main villain Caius, he has like something in him that's like again oversimplifying, but the goddess Etro gives him like a special ability to to be the guardian to this like incarnation of her. It's like he is guarding her and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So it's like the thing is he wants to like break free from his guardianship of her, right? And the only way to succeed in his plan and become free is for him to die. But then when you go and fight him, he fights back.
Makes sense.
Just
don't think about it.
That's basically what it comes down to. Is like, don't think about it, or spend a month, reading codexes, trying to decrypt them, because that's how you tell stories, I guess. These days.
I am totally for finding collectibles and whatnot that give you extra story, but giving you the initial narration is completely wrong. Let me
be clear. Having lore in your game, having like world building things, having like side like, oh look, here's the origin of this monster, or like why this town is here and all this stuff like that. That's actually really good for a game to actually have that as optional stuff, because then it's like, oh, if you're invested in the world already, that extra lore will make you even more invested.
It's
like, oh, wow, awesome,
it's kind of like reading the
Lord of the Rings versus the Silmarillion.
I don't know what the Silmarillion is.
Yeah, the Silmarillion is like, it's a collection of like little details and the other stuff that happened in the past before Lord of the Rings, before the Hobbit. Okay. So it's like,
I was gonna say more about like reading the legends of the different deities and whatnot in Skyrim. Okay. Because that's complete backstory and stuff that you don't need to know.
Right. It's like, okay, that's a good example. Let's use that for an example. That's fine. So, in Skyrim, you don't need to know about all that stuff.
Yeah, you don't.
The
need
main
to know
plot
about
is you're Dragonborn.
Yeah.
You can use the shouts. You can use the Thume or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that's also something else I never really understood, is why can Ulfric also use the Thume if he's not Dragonborn?
Right.
Because unless you spend not hundreds, but like most of your life learning how to use your voice. I figured it was only the Dragonborn that can do that, but I guess I'm. Thanks, game. I guess I'm wrong. But it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Good. So.
You know what I'm saying with Ulfric, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're looking at Skyrim as the plot is like you're Dragonborn and you're following the plot fine, and you don't have to read the books you find to understand what's going on. You can just go through the plot and like you're told what your character motivation is, who you are, what the villain is, and all this stuff. You know who Alduin is and all this stuff. So, using the Lord of the Rings example again, Lord of the Rings is like, the story of Lord of the Rings. You can watch the Lord of the Rings movies and read the books and know who the villain is, what's going on, the motivations of the characters, all that stuff. The Silmarillion is full of all this extra stuff that's like, here's the origin of all this random stuff, right? It's like, you don't need to know the origin of the ring and who made it and all this stuff. You only have to know that the big evil Sauron wants it, and it gives him power. You know what I mean? That's all you... So basically what I'm asking for in 13 was like, just tell your story so that I can at least follow the plot. Like, the lore stuff is good. It's actually good when it actually enhances the experience if you're already invested in the world. If you're not invested in the world, then it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is what is that?
Kid. It's a kid that was lost.
Oh, okay.
You have to save him to get the old man's magic in that town, in Darunia.
Darunia?
Which, did we mention that the towns were named after the sages?
I feel like we did. But...
I think we did, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the thing. So that's what kills me is about 13. It's just like I after doing a little bit of research, it's like I don't know if I would argue anymore that it's a bad story, but it's told so poorly that it really does seem like it is a bad story.
What if the story to No More Heroes was actually really good? It was just told bad. Like, it was told very poorly. But like, if you ever did some digging, it's like an actual. It's like the Matrix 1 versus Matrix 3.
Matrix 3.
That was what, Revolution?
Revolution, I think it's called. Zion Rave.
How did Matrix
Zion freaking Rave.
That was the second one.
And the second one, yeah.
Why did Matrix go so downhill, like so fast? Like, how did they screw that up?
I don't know, man.
All you have to do is make some biblical references, and you're good.
Yeah,
it had Zion.
It's one of those, yeah, and the ship is called Nebuchadnezzar. You remember that?
Yep.
It's one of those things. It's kind of dumb.
Well, that's a troll right there.
Yeah.
Because that would have leveled me up, but it gave me magic instead.
Yeah, you can go back in. Oh no. There you go.
Attack.
But like, it's one of those things in fantasy and sci-fi, or like if you ever want to sound really like ultimate and like really intense and really important, just make religious references.
Yeah.
You know? Like, how many times in fantasy and sci-fi is the Four Horsemen referenced? Mm-hmm. You know, as like an ultimate thing, you know?
Yeah.
How often is like even in Final Fantasy, it's so often. You always like multiple games in Final Fantasy, you hear there's like Eden is a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
you know, like
the thing about the Japanese ones, I would say, because Christianity over there is not as common as it is over here.
It's not as common.
So I would say it's kind of like how English sounds cool to them.
Right. It's like
or it's something that's so foreign, right?
Right.
I don't understand why it's so popular in Western games. I would assume they would go like more Buddhist or something like that. Because that's so uncommon to us.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's like in, like, I was playing Diablo 3 with my roommates, and I was like, kind of amazed at how much religious stuff there was in there. And it was kind of weird because, like...
Why does that surprise you? The game's called Devil.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just... I thought it was just, like, a misnomer, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's... The problem, of course, whenever you take religious stuff and put it into games, is like it's always half-truths and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, there's like, you play as Nephilim, but it's misspelled. Okay. It's misspelling of the word. So it's like
your parents just named you after a demon child.
Well,
they just thought that sounded cool.
Well, you don't play as the name. It's actually a race of people.
Oh, okay. So you are the race of the demon spawn.
Demon spawn, basically.
Okay.
But you're not though. So it's like that's what it's supposed to be, right? But
that's just like the race of people. Like they are from.
They just so happen to be called Nephilim. You know what I'm saying?
They're from Nephitros or something.
Nephtropolis, right?
And we're the Nephilims, guys.
Right, exactly.
Go Broncos.
They're
That's not a bash on the Broncos.
Actually, here's the wrong thing about Diablo 3 is that
50.
Here's the wrong thing about Diablo 3.
Yeah, we're gonna end this session when we get to the palace.
Okay.
So finish up your topic.
The other thing about Diablo 3 is that, like, considering how much religious imagery there is in it, it's like extremely humanist. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I thought that was the whole point.
Like because
of that game, because the point is to kill Diablo, right? To prove that like the human race is the superior race, right? That's what the whole game's about, right?
Yeah.
That's what I just figured it was about. Any game where you can kill the embodiment of all evil, to me is a very humanist thought.
Right. Yeah. Because it's like if you will it, right? If you're a human, you're strong enough to all this, right? Yeah. The Nephilim in Diablo 3 are people who are not exactly human because they can use magic and stuff.
They're not exactly human because they're demon spawns?
They're supposed to be in real world, but
yeah,
in that game they're demon spawn.
By the way, what a Nephilim is, if you don't know, it's when a demon has a child with a human.
Right.
That's what a Nephilim is.
Right.
Just for people that don't know, because I know not everyone is going to know what that means.
Right.
Tektite. I don't want to use fire.
But it's like it's strange. It's a very common thing in fantasy to be like go humans, you know, like.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's very common in a lot of things because we're humans. So why not cheer ourselves on, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, whatever you are.
Yeah.
I think those are the Gorons.
I'm pretty sure those are Zongo.
It could be. It could be Zoras, for all I know. I mean, the Zoras in the original Zelda look nothing like the Zoras you think of now. They're hostile and they shoot fire.
Yeah. After playing the 3D versions first, and then going back and, like, I didn't know they were Zora for the longest time. I was like, those are Zora? Those are nothing like Zora.
Yeah. I don't even see their fins.
Because again, it's all about your first impressions. So it's like it's like the Goma thing, where it's like you see a Goma in the past games, and you're like, oh, that's a Goma.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, because it's like when you see, you don't even think, oh, that's a Goma. Like in the 3D games, you're like, oh man, it's Goma. That's like
Goma.
A legendary.
It's the
that's
Goma.
Like a legendary spider, right? That they named Goma. It's like, no, it's just a race. It's just a race of spiders.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's like
I am hitting all the things I don't want to hit. Like, you can basically walk through this area if you know the correct path.
Wow, I think this is bad.
Yeah. And I do not know the correct path, apparently. Get out of here. Ooh, P-bag.
200, nice. But so it's like sitting with the Zora, where it's like, oh, well, Zoras look like this. So when they don't look like that, it's like they're not Zora, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, next session I'm gonna kill this Dark Nut, and then
Iron Knuckle.
Or Iron Knuckle. I think we just agreed calling him Dark Nut. Right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. We're gonna continue next time, guys. See you later.
Bye.